Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is D Love. My channel is D Love. It's after midnight on, well, it's now July 30th, and it's a buck full moon. It's already past its fullest point. I'm grateful to be able to have had a nap and get up and spend some of these early morning hours contemplating and meditating. I do most of that usually in the early morning hours, like 6 a.m. But I guess you could say this is still the evening. I had not made the decision until just now. I'm gonna use this Santa Muerte deck and do a read. Just gonna do it a typical. Let me start this over again here. I'm gonna do a typical Celtic cross. I learned this spread a long time ago, and I do like to do other spreads. In fact, we're going to start with this card as the heart of the matter. This is the center card of the read. I like to think of it as like the place where the source of the read, the place where the question comes from. And in this case, it's the Magician. The Magician has purple on here. Looks like a brown vest or a sash of some sort. Enlightenment. This brings to mind that ideas, fire, will and desire, and knowledge. Honoring our feelings. This Magician has a beautiful cup there, ball. And of course, the number one. All right. Let's see, what's our crossing energy of this Magician? Aiding, abetting, blocking, knocking. Let's see. I may have to get my glasses for this. These are not the easiest cards to read. In this case, it's the Four of Swords. The numbers are kind of on the sides. You can see. I'm pretty sure it's the Four of Swords. Let me just make sure that's a 4. Yes, it is. Wow. It's like it is a feeling of rest. So I think we're being urged as magicians of our own lives, having the appropriate and the appropriate tools and the dignity to use them, to really contemplate light and dark, life and death. And meditate and rest. This looks like a great place of meditation, which beautifully does go along with the Four of Swords. I'm unsure why I have not really contemplated on this Four of Swords before. I've been using this deck a long time. And it's funny, it came out as the crossing energy because here's that cross and the crossing energy. All right. What's our crowning energy in this read? This is like our thoughts. In this read, it would be, because this is a community read. This would be a joint like thought that most of us share. Kind of something in the air, or when it occurs to us, we'll be like, "Yeah, I've been thinking of that too," or "Yeah, that's really been on my mind." And that's temperance. And that is alchemy, blending things together so they are often, let's just take it to the earth in the kitchen. So they're palatable. And that can be many things. But it's a blending together. In this Thoth deck, it's the art card. But it's tempering. It's making things pleasing. It's blending colors. Beautiful. So that's going to be our utmost. Looks like where a lot of us are doing artwork right now. And let's see what's coming up. It's one of my favorite cards in this deck. I have to make sure because, again, the numbers, but it is the Five of Wands in this deck, which I like a lot. It shows somebody willing to light the fire, strike a match. You know, it's like kind of what gets us going sometimes. It's like, let's wrestle. Let's play. It's a necessary energy. It speaks of will and fire. It's a learning of our passions. The Five of Wands is extremely necessary. In one of my decks, I have a post 9/11 deck. It's a New York City deck, and one of the cards, the Five of Wands, shows a masculine and a feminine arm wrestling. And it's at a ballpark. It's like that feeling of there is some competition that drives us. A feeling of like fire. It's to know our will. It's to learn our will. It's the willingness to like wrestle around with it and really know it and play with others with it. I gotta get a little drink here. Okay. What leads us into this magician feeling, this being in charge of our own lives, responsible for our own lives, balancing our own lives within the elements, within Mother Nature? What brings us into this magician? I'm going to turn my light up just a little bit, folks. It's kind of glaring, but it's more wands. And in this case, it is the Nine of Wands. She's the 9. Some people call this the wounded warrior, but in this case, this 9 of Wands is showing her harvesting, which is really where you are with a 9. She's getting ready to harvest her beautiful, 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 they look like irises, but her flowers that she's tended to, that she's probably in some way given of herself for. These are her passions, her 9 passions, and they're coming to fruition, and they're about to be harvested. Maybe for something really beautiful. But she's putting in the work. She's continuing to put in the work. I love her cloak. So that hard work of bringing our passions to their culmination is coming through. Is what's bringing us into our magic. And what's flowing out of this? The Prince of Wands. We're in his time right now, his time frame. I think it began like the 19th of July, and we're still in, and flows into early Leo. So late Cancer, early Leo. The fire of air. Princes are air energy. They're mainly thoughts. They're like the ideas and the ideals and the philosophy and the reasoning, and they're the air of it all. The logos, the speech, the vox, and in this case, it's the passion in the air. He brings the fire in it. So our passions are coming forth. This is the I Am card. This is like a line, a moment in time, you can say, and it you know, the length of it. I read once, and it's always stuck with me, that our bodies regenerate every couple of days, depending on the type of cells. Like, for example, our stomach lining cells can regenerate as quickly as 2 days. 2 to 10 days, I believe, is the time frame. And so this is kind of like a time frame, or it can be 2 days to like 10 years. You may have heard 7 years, including our liver cells. All of us regenerates, including bone. Bone takes the longest. Every 2 days to 10 years. It's humbling to me. And so that is kind of what this time represents. It's a frame. So we're coming from this, from, you know, a place where our passions are being harvested into our own magic, into ourselves and our own magic. And that's coming forth from us as from all. As our passions, as thoughts and words and deeds. All right. This is the I Am, We Are card. And it is the 10 of Pentacles. And you can see it's green, which speaks of our heart, the things that come forth from our love that are solidified. It's like the crystallization of a bone. This is regeneration of us. I spoke of bones regenerating, and here we are, kind of at an end of a cycle of regeneration, rebirth. Phalanges, hands or feet. Where are your feet is a good question. Where are my feet? All right, put that right there. And what is what is it that we put, what is it that's inside of us that floats out into our world, into our circles? What is it that's played from our strings, the music we put forth, our weather, internal and external? And in this case, it's the Five of Swords, and this is a beautiful Five of Swords. She's holding her hand up in the air, and in this case, she looks as though she's defending this masculine. She's willing to fight for what she loves, and he's standing by her. And they have five swords pointed at them collectively. And still, they're willing to stand. So courage, there's real courage in, saying, I'm willing to take a stand for certain things. I'm willing to take a bullet if necessary, or a sword if necessary. I'm capable of that. And we are capable of that with this type of magic and strength and perseverance and passion, art, the willingness to light fire. We have 2 5s here, and that's pertinent. That is pertinent. That's learning. It's like, there's a hub there in a 5. There's a 4-spoked wheel in a hub. So far, we have the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. What do we fear? And we have another 5. The Hierophant. The month of May. The card of May. The learned one. Both the student and the teacher. The perpetual student who becomes responsible for teaching. And 5, very intimate with those 5s. So we have another 5. And it's coming out as the card that we fear most. What we fear most. Yet want most. A real mastery. And coming at it from a place of, does the center hold? Does the center hold here? Asking real questions. As above, so below. Willing to go within. Like that 9. Willing to use his tools. Surrounded by the purple and the red. It's a real card of spring too. All right. What do we fear about that learning though? What is it from all of this? What, that we're going to be called to arms? She's being called to arms. Although it looks, I mean, that's pointed, it almost appears like she's defending him to me. Even this sword, it falls behind her. These are pointed at the masculine. From my point of view, they appear to be pointed at the masculine, and she's saying, not on my watch. We're gonna talk about this real clearly. We're gonna go to arms for this one. Okay, we'll take up arms on this. This is a subject we're gonna look deeply at. You know, perhaps she's offensive in nature. That is often the best defense, isn't it? So maybe we're afraid with these fives of our own, like, learning, if our own center will hold. There's only a couple of ways to really know, and that's to put it to the test. I mean, fives are a good place to testing. You know, it's that center itself. All right. What's going to be the outcome of all this? Beautiful King of Cups. The water and the fire. Cool, but yeah, look at that. Red. Beautiful. King of Cups. This is a late February, early March card of Pisces. Beautiful. All right. So, passionate emotions are coming forth with all this. Mature, very mature, passionate emotions are coming forth. It seems the center holds. So fearing fives is futile. It's futile. Let's see what our advice is on the bottom of this beautiful deck. And it is I have to make sure on these sixes and nines, it's the Six of Pentacles. I'm getting a glare there, but it's the Six of Pentacles. It's that good feeling of that place where you're sitting there and it's almost like time has its flow there in moments, and it's just such a sweet feeling with the Six of Pentacles. If you notice, the hands are at six. It's that sweet flow of this life on this beautiful earth. is our advice. Just enjoy every moment. Enjoy it and notice the beauty all around, because it is. Thank you so much for being here with me on this full moon. I really appreciate it, and enjoy. Thank you so much.